the second run from 76% down to 71%, it wasn't exactly the same. Because remember, there's a 20% safety margin from 100 to 80%. Wind. Oh, the wind is crazy. I'm leaving. Unfortunate. Let's do some reckless riding, guys. Reckless. I hate blind spots. I can't see in the turn, so I'm not gonna do anything crazy. Reckless. My goodness. So on a long distance trip, right? Which would you prefer? Holy smokes. I would prefer this over the V13 any day. Oh, for a long distance? Absolutely. Not just because of the range. No handle feels funny. The pads are feeling very flimsy, because there's not enough surface area to stick it to. Oh shit! Holy smokes, dude. Sitting is beautiful, very, very comfortable for sure. All right, welcome to the live, guys. Welcome. Sensei, can you hear me?
Got you loud and clear.
All right, cool. Guys, if you can hear me, please type 1 in the chat if you're able to hear both myself and Sensei. It's been a while since I've done a live. Life happens. That's all I can say. Life happens. And
Facts.
therefore,
Ain't that the truth?
and when life happens, you can't really, continue with the rhythm that I had before. But it is what it is. Now we're back. So we're going to do a quick live on something called EUC Blitz, right? So EUC Blitz, I'm going to explain to you guys what it is in a little bit. Let just some of you guys come in a little bit more. But one in the chat. All right, cool. Really appreciate it. Let's just welcome some of the guys that's been saying hello. Electric Unipsycho, yo, how's it going? Electric Unipsycho. The Eminist Stan, okay. Who's Stan? Where is he?
What's up, everybody?
Yeah, the Eminist and Electric Psycho are pretty much, and Liac DuPont, Stan,
Wade,
and Wade Powell. All right. All right, cool. So yeah, you're gonna see the camera do blurry stuff, but that's not the Wi-Fi. That's just the camera. It's $80. Got it on Amazon. It's pretty cool, actually. But I'm still learning the ins and outs of it. But anyway, thank you guys for joining. Have you guys ridden today? Anyone ridden today? I rode today.
I did.
What? Oh, you said you did like 32 miles or something?
Yes, 32 miles. Happy with myself. Because normally my rides are about between 15 and 20 miles. So I'm slowly creeping up the meter here.
What wheel were you on?
I was on the Old Faithful. Sherman, baby. OG Sherman.
Old Faithful. I thought you were talking about the Tesla. Okay.
Oh, the Tesla, dude, that Tesla's probably going to my grave, dude. Me and that Tesla been through so much. I can't get rid of it.
How long have you had the Tesla?
Wow. Two and a half years? Maybe closer to 3 now. I got it in 2020.
Okay.
Actually closer to 3, almost 3 years now.
That's cool. So you should probably do a range test on it, see how that battery's holding up.
I should do that.
Someone told me to do it, but I took apart the Tesla and I'm not about to put it.
Well, this is the thing with the Tesla too. Remember, I upgraded. So I put a wider tire on it. And believe it or not, that sucked down some of the range on it.
That makes sense.
It took off some of the range. I would say at least.
Is that a street tire or is that a?
It's an all-terrain. I would say more towards street, but if you have to do a little bit of light trailing on it, dude, I used that in Cobra's rally last year, man. People were like, "You're crazy." I'm like, dude, right now I'm sliding out all over the place, and I actually rode that better. It was just getting better traction.
Oh, nice.
It was getting better traction.
Maybe you'll use it again this year.
No, I'm going to use the RS this year.
When's the Cobra event this year?
It is. I wrote this down for everybody. Write it down. Please attend. If you're not riding, at least come and support. Big shout out to Real Life Rally, Black Cobra, and Amp Games. Hold on, I got it here somewhere. Hold on a minute. I wrote it
shout
down.
out to Amp Games and the Black Cobra.
Hold on a second. I know I just wrote this thing down. Now I'm blind as a bat.
Yeah, you were just talking about
it. I was just looking at it. Wait a second. I have it here.
The Amnist. He said the skateboard one wheel rip.
Hold on a second.
Stopped today. You see tomorrow. Okay, so he has a one wheel. I guess.
I'm just gonna pull it up here on my phone. And then
not riding today.
I definitely want to get this for everybody. Hold on a second.
Yeah, man. I tried riding today in the rain. It was on and off. Finally, I was just like, just do it.
Okay. Saturday, August 26th.
I think you paused.
Sunday, August 27th.
Paused, Sensei.
Did you get that?
I don't think Sensei knows his camera's paused.
It's paused? How about now?
You're good. You're good now.
You're good? Okay, so Saturday, August 26th for the Real Life Rally and August 27th, Saturday and Sunday.
So it's 2 days.
It's 2 days.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Because normally that's good. Looking forward to that.
So go to what? WheelLifeRally.com, right?
WheelLifeRally.com. If you're going to participate, go in, fill out the forms and everything. I would say get everything pre-done and come out and enjoy yourself. So Saturday, August 26th and Sunday, August 27th, Real Life Rally 2023. And Cobra's events are phenomenal. Great events.
Yeah, I'll put the link in the chat. So you guys are going to have to copy that. I don't think you can directly click it. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So that's cool. So the last wheel life rally you went to, how was that?
It was good. I had fun. It was a tough track that day. It was tough. It was very, very loose because it was dry.
Hmm.
But I loved it because it was technical. It didn't matter how fast you could go or your wheel could go. It's what you could put down without going down.
Right.
That was the coolest part of it, man. That was
That's
the cool.
funny.
Yeah, it was good. Good stuff.
Nice.
Tarzan won it on a. I think it was a
MSP
MSP. No, I think
or MS
it was a
Sherman.
RS Torque. I think.
Oh,
I think he
okay.
had.
When
I think
it's
yeah.
funny when I think of RS, I think of MSP. It's pretty much the same
It's
design.
the same. It's the same thing. You're 100% right. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Yeah, he was rolling that day. Tarzan was killing it on it.
Wow. What do you mean? Did you race with him or did you just
I
were you in the same like?
I don't think it was in any of his heats. I don't think so. But he was actually. Yeah, you know what? Yes, I was. I was in one of his heats,
Oh yeah.
and he come flying by me like. Yeah, he was just on a different level that day.
Hmm.
He's a phenomenal rider though. So
Yeah, he rides a lot though.
he lives on a wheel.
Yeah, he pretty much lives on a wheel. He
He
rides
lives on a
backwards and everything with his helmet on.
Oh, he can ride backwards faster than I can ride frontwards.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Respect to those dudes, though, man. He put in the time and he handles his own, man.
Yeah. No, it's pretty good. But yeah, I have my EXN down, my MSP down. All I got right now are the review wheels, and I went for a ride on the EX30. Shout out to
Uh-oh.
E-Wheels. I got the EX30 from E-Wheels.
No,
But then I got
no little samples you're gonna tell us about it. Did you like it or?
No, I liked it until I got a flat.
Oh
You know?
no!
Yeah, I got a flat because I got it from Duff, and apparently there was a slow leak. So
you put some slime or armadillos in
well,
it.
should I though? Because
I would try it.
just try
Can't
that.
hurt because
Yeah.
it's going straight into the tube anyway.
Right. And then I already talked to Jason, so by the time he gets my email, hopefully sends me a new one.
New
So,
tube, yeah. Just throw a little. Don't put too much of that stuff in it, but it might go in there to seal it up.
Right. Now I'm gonna give that a try because this morning I'm like, let me just put some air in it. I put some air in it, and then it just slowly started leaking out. I'm like, great.
Yeah. Dude.
First thing I got to do is open up this thing and take the tube out. I'm not interested.
Dude, I would. Dude, I hate wrenching on wheels, dude. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I really don't. I
don't
really
like
don't.
wrenching on it.
I mean, I don't mind it if I have to do it. I do it, but I really don't like going on and working on stuff.
I'll leave that to Paul Stallone and Samuel Pacheco. For me, man.
Right, exactly.
Those guys are phenomenal. I mean, they can take a wheel apart in 20 minutes and have it back together. Not me.
Yeah, because that's what they do. That's their thing.
That's their expertise. Yeah, man.
For me, I have to set myself I have to give myself at least 2 hours just to from start to finish. Even if it's not going to take 2 hours, something always happens. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you've taken a lot of wheels apart. Like I said,
but that's what I'm saying. Like I still have to give myself like ample time. Like let's say I think it's going to take an hour, I have to give myself another hour.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah.
Something's going to happen. You're going to lose a screw. You're going to not know where one of your tools are. You might have to go to Home Depot. It's like stuff. Something happens. Something always happens. That has always been my experience with working on wheels, and even if it's something simple as changing a tire.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say simple because for a lot of people that's not simple.
Yeah, some of these wheels, man.
Yeah. So I gave EUC Vibes the link. I don't see where he is, but it is what it is. Let me see. But yeah, some of what I like though is that some of where the wheels are going.
Woo! Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. You said that, man. I just got excited because it's at the point like if you're in the market to buy a wheel, my advice to anybody, and I might not even heed my own advice, but this is my advice. If you're looking for a wheel, if you can hold out at least until midsummer, I would, because I think there's some serious stuff coming down the pipe, man. I really do. What
do you mean? Like what?
I think Emotion's going to lay something out, man.
Oh, well, they already said they're going to lay out 4 different
And
wheels.
I've been keeping up with the the different riders that are riding like the V13. Like I watched one with Johnny Vroom, and they were talking about he spoke with, I think, Bob Yan as well.
Okay.
And you're talking about some of the same things we had spoke about, but the updated battery packs, removable, just the different stages of wheels you can get. You can get the Commuter, the Courage, all the different stuff, the Explorer. But it's just like they'll have wheels, especially for what you want to do. If you want to ride street, you'll get something for the street. If you want to ride trails and jump, they're making wheels just for that. So I think it's going in a really good place. But where Emotion is going, you got to know they're going to be challenged. You don't think Bigot is going to be, you know what I mean? So it's like
no, but I feel Bigot's Bigot just released that other wheel, right? The Extreme. So it's not like they're necessarily waiting on anyone to release wheels.
No, they're not waiting on anybody. But what I say is they are all, I don't want to say ahead of the game, but they're always on top of the game. It's like, oh, you do this, okay, then we're going to do this, 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 and this. It's like they're always trying to outdo. Well, competition is always good, but I think the wheels are just going to keep topping each other, man. So they're not cheap. So the worst thing to do is, okay, man, you're going to drop, let's say, $3,000 on a wheel, and then 2 months down the road you see something even better. Like, oh man, I should have waited. So if you have something that you can rock at least until midsummer, July, August, and just see what they're going to put out in the fall, I would just hold off if you can.
Well, I like where like the EX30. I went for a short ride on it from like Dorchester all the way to like Cambridge. And dude, it was beautiful. It reminded me of how compact the MSP was, and my biggest complaint with the MSP was how the range wasn't, crazy. Although you could manage it, just ride slow, go into your destination, then blaze your way back. But riding the EX30, not worrying about range and that not worrying about speed was good, dude. And it was easy to maneuver because remember, like for the last couple months, we had like the M Master Pro. The Master Pro, then the Master X, and then you got the V13. So these massive wheels, pretty much been taking up the space. You know what I'm saying? And then, I mean, the S22 has always been there with its several updates over and over again, but it wasn't really a range wheel or speed wheel.
Nah, you weren't. I mean, the S22, you really weren't getting any more range than you can get on my RS. Right. I mean, really wasn't that much watt hours separating. 1,822. Right. Really wasn't much. And then the Nobby tire too, can suck some of the miles off.
It's the way it makes you feel, man. Like the instantaneous torque, the instantaneous acceleration was good, but the EX30 gives me that feeling. And once I got on it, after riding the Master Pro and the V13 for a while, and then jumping on that EX30, it was pretty crazy. I'm like, holy smokes, back to something that's like, I don't know, like manageable.
I get it 100%. Like when we were out at MetLife Stadium and I jumped on your high speed MSP or your high speed. Yeah, I was saying high speed MSP.
It's the high speed MSP. Yeah.
Dude, it was like jumping on the back of a freaking missile. I even said, like, dude, it's just as quick as any of these other wheels that are out. The thing is fast, even though the motor's smaller.
Yeah.
But
the only issue it has is that immediate takeoff. If you try to take off as hard as you would like a torque wheel, you're gonna cut out. Like I've done it several times and it happens every single time.
Right. And it's another thing too. You push your wheel completely different than a lot of other riders. I mean, you push it to its limit. Most riders aren't going to push it that hard. So that performance is good enough for most riders. I'm just being frank. I mean, that's more than enough performance for me, to tell you the truth.
Dude, I love that wheel. If it could handle the initial output, that'd be great. But, it is what it is. Wade Powell is asking, Ustride, with the upcoming In Motion series and swappable batteries, will the wheel still be water resistant? I don't see why In Motion would go backwards. Whoa, you good, man?
I don't know, man. I'm down here.
Oh, shoot. Let me give you some private. You need some privacy?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Live got me all excited.
Because we saw how it happened. Like, oh, shoot.
Good God. Okay.
You good, man?
I'm good.
All right. So, yeah, I don't see why In Motion would go backwards with their water resistant rating at all. I think they're going to maintain that, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna mess with the what they call the IP rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're known for. They've been known for that for a while. I think the only one that might have had a little bit of trouble with the IP was the V11.
The V11.
The V11.
I think the V10F too. I think at
well,
one
I
point
think the V10 was better than the V11 though.
I thought they put out like a statement for one of the V10s. I thought it was the V10
I don't even remember.
We
got one. Well, we had one of. Actually, that's the wife. My wife has a V10. Like we don't ride in the rain, but for me, most of the complaints I heard was like the V11.
Okay.
Yes, I can't speak for the other ones, but I don't see them going backwards on that.
Okay. Well, I don't see where EUC Vibes is. So let's just keep talking about what we're here for. So guys, thank you guys for joining. There's 11 people in the chat. Hit the like button and we'll have 11 likes. And then
like it up.
And then unclick it, click it again, we'll get 22. And that's not gonna happen. But yeah, so the purpose for this live is because we thought of doing something similar to, you know, other races that we've seen out there, but you guys already know, you know, Strat is a struggling YouTuber. Everything I do is on the whim for the most part, even though I try to start it from the beginning. Stuff always happens that messes with the flow. But one of the things we come up with was called EUC Blitz. Okay, EUC Blitz. So EUC Blitz is basically, it stemmed from the initial race that we had with EUC Vibes. Okay, so there was a race with EUC Vibes. That was, I had the V13. He was on the Master Pro, and we were racing down a quarter mile. It was beautiful. Got one angle. It was amazing. I loved it. It was in the rain. It almost seemed like a backyard fights, like Fast and the Furious type thing. You just set it up and you go. Well, that's the whole point of EUC Blitz. You set it up and you go. But the setup is that I noticed a lot of people in the comments were talking. There are a lot of people in the comments, and they were saying things like, hey, why don't you guys just swap wheels, or your pad setup, or this or that? There's a lot of talk going on. But the truth of the matter is, rarely do you see people in the comments be put on the spot. Right. We're always put on the spot because we're the ones making the videos, but you guys are never put on the spot. So EUC Blitz is an opportunity for you guys to put your mouth, or should I say your wheel, where your mouth is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you really think it's that simple to race someone in the rain on a very massive wheel that is the V13 and a wheel that is the Master Pro, and you think you got what it takes, then sign up to be a blitzer, you know, become an EUC blitzer and show what you really got. Because here's the truth. The truth is, there's a lot of experienced riders out there. But, you know, we don't really get to see them because a lot of these guys don't make videos. You know, they're just riding, they're doing their thing. And sometimes they'll show up at events. For example, who knew about the guy at that last race with, what was it, Amped Electric Games? Who knew? I mean, was he that popular on YouTube? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But look how great he did on his EXN. He beat everybody by a large margin, and he had an older wheel, dude.
Yeah. And was that the same guy, Mario, even at Eastgate Con, run on the EXN? No,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think it's Mario.
Yeah. So my point is, was he big on YouTube though? Have you heard of Mario?
I've never heard of him on YouTube,
but we've heard of Roger.
Exactly.
We've heard of Zen Lee, but he beat all of them.
He came out the depths, man. He
beat all of them.
EUC community.
What? It's like this guy has been training on his 100-volt wheel for all this time, just waiting for the right opportunity, and he came out and destroyed everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that guy would be an example of someone I would love to challenge on an EUC Blitz. So, for example, you guys have seen UFC, boxing, stuff like that. What they typically do is they come, they talk their stuff, you know what I'm saying, and then they prepare for the fights, and then what they have to do is pretty much own up to what they said.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And with EUC racing, what I was trying to say to you guys with the race is that even though you saw like what you saw, because a lot of you were like, hey, what if you had just changed your pads, if you had just switched the wheels, then you would have seen that the master is faster than the look. It's not that easy to set up a wheel, and it's really not that easy to just jump on another wheel and start racing, dude. You got to really get familiar with that wheel. You know what I'm saying? What do you think?
Yeah. No, exactly. I think I just mentioned that Keith and I, we went on like a 32-mile ride today, and I'm laughing at myself. I've had the Sherman for a while, and I'm still finding out different things that make it ride better with the setup. And I think a lot of riders don't set their wheels up properly. It's just like, let me get it out the box, put some air in, ride and go. And it's like, no, your tire pressure might be wrong. Your pedal tilt, the pedal angle might be wrong. Your dehedral might not be comfortable for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of factors that go into it. And a lot of riders don't take the time to analyze that stuff. And then they'll criticize the wheel. Oh, the wheel's this, the wheel's not comfortable. Nah, I think it's a lot of times how you have it set up.
How you have it set up. So Stan heard what we said. He's like, that's a good point. Ha ha ha. There are so many amazing riders who are behind the scenes. And that is true, because it's like, holy smokes, like, where'd this guy come from? And what's funny is the EXN, the pedals, if you get it stock, is very low. But I was watching this guy, and he was taking crazy turns. He was even touching the floor with one of his hands.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, whoa, this guy's pretty good. Where have this guy been? He was riding that thing like, and here's the thing, and he made a very good point, just without even saying anything, just by his riding skills, he demonstrated that the majority of riders are not going to take full advantage of anything that's above 100 volts. I mean, you get 126, 134. What does that really mean? Does that mean, okay, so if you have like a rider that's like at his prime, right, at his optimum like riding ability, and you give him 134 volt, maybe he's going to do well because it's 134 volt. It gives him that extra room to really do better than what he's typically known for doing. But if you have someone who's really, really good on a freaking 100-volt wheel, and then you have like Roger and all these guys we know about on better, more powerful wheels, that's what we saw in the Amped Electric games. It was irrelevant. It didn't matter. It boiled down, especially on a circuit. It boils down to those lines. Yeah.
The circuit's different. Now, it's one thing if you're on a wide open track where you have big, long straightaways. Of course, 134-volt wheel or 126,
right?
You're gonna run them down. But when it comes to weight transfer, sharp turns and the cutbacks and all that, it's a completely
different game, dude.
It's what you can lay down. It doesn't matter how. It's like horsepower in a car. You can have all the horsepower you want. If you can't put it down to the road, it's completely irrelevant. Completely irrelevant.
So that's what EUC Blitz is about, guys. We're working on the website right now. It's almost done. But what we want is for people to, we might give the location. You know what I'm saying? Most likely it's gonna be East Coast for now because I can't really travel anywhere that much. But the idea is to set up 2 people or 3 or 4, it doesn't matter. But we're gonna have it where it's never gonna be like 4 people at a time, except for that. So it's like this.
Oh, we got something down the pipeline, y'all.
That's the plan.
We have something down the pipeline, but we'll mention that on another live.
Right, another live, because we want to take step by step. Do it step by step, because again, this is like on the fly. We don't have much money. We need your support. You know what I'm saying? And your support really means participating in the Blitz games. Now, the Blitz games does not have a specific location. Again, that's another way to keep it cheap and to keep it affordable. The Blitz games is exactly how you saw EUC Vibes and I raced. 2 riders come together, one with whatever wheel they got, and we pretty much during this live during the week, we talk to you. We say, hey, how do you think you're able to beat this guy on a quarter mile? So in the Blitz game, you're going to say what you're good at. You can say you're good at a quarter mile. So there are 3 different races in the Blitz. I forgot to mention that. There's 3 different races in the Blitz. Let me look to the camera. There's 3 different races to the Blitz. There is the quarter mile, just like you see EUC Vibes and I did. There's the circuit racing, and then there's the off-roading. So it's 3 different races for the EUC Blitz. And like I said, it's not a location that is set up per se. We can just off the cuff come up with the location. So for example, Funkin Park is a really good off-roading spot. Some places, maybe if it's really big, we'll have to, coordinate off and like pay for the location. But the point of EUC Blitz is to be able to set it up wherever and get it done, get in, get out. That's pretty much it. Now, so let me know what you guys think in the comments, but that's the gist of the game.
Dude, I'm pumped. Like I said, I don't want to say too much more about it.
Yeah.
All we ask is, we're here for the community. Just show your support, and we're gonna get this thing off the ground. And then
because like I said, like this guy at the AMP games got me surprised. I'm really surprised. I've never heard of this guy, but he destroyed everyone that I knew that are good. Roger is good at building amazing wheels.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But again, another point is that what I noticed was his wheel was how do you say? It was smaller than the Master, for example. I saw even a V13. I thought I saw a V13 at that race.
There was a V13. I believe it was a V13. Yeah.
So his wheel had like huge potential, huge how do you say, not potential, but huge advantages to these other wheels, because a lot of these wheels were tall. A lot of them, you know what I'm saying? So even though the Master has like a way higher pedal height, so you don't have to worry much about scraping. Right. But his wheel was all in all just smaller, more compact. So he was using this track like it was a toy. It was a toy to him.
Well, that goes back to even with the Apple Valley when I do one on a Nikola. I think he surprised a lot of people when he won that race on a Nikola. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not how. Yeah, it's what you can put down on the track, man. It's what you can put down. I do. Are we done with Blitz? Or are we gonna? I think we.
No, it's okay. You can talk whatever you want.
Okay, because we're getting questions about 16-inch wheels, right?
Okay. Who's asking that?
Oh, there right is. What did I see this? It seems I think it's Stan. It seems like 16-inch wheels will be the answer superior for 2023. I think it's great.
Well, actually, he starts right here. He says it seems 16-inch wheels will be the answer to 2023. The patent from Librakim is getting high praise from most noted influencers. The Bigot Extreme from advertisements has equal or more delivery.
I want to answer that. I want to answer that.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to break this down into two things. And I know a lot of people aren't going to agree with the last part that I have to say. But I was looking, I love the stats of the Extreme. But again, I'm looking at the price tag, right? As of right now, I think out of the small wheels, whether they're 16-inch or 17-inch, depending on what videos you're watching, I think the wheel actually that's going to surprise a lot of people is the Commander Mini Pro. I think that wheel is going to be phenomenal. I think for the price, you can't beat that. You can't beat it.
The Commander Mini Pro?
Yeah, I think and I believe it's using the same suspension that's on a Commander Pro. And I've been listening to the reviews on a Commander Pro. Besides the wiring on the first batch, that was the biggest complaint, was the wiring. It said it looks like a rat's nest in there. So when they opened up the wheel, I said the same thing. I was like, damn. It was like birds did the wiring in that thing, right? But besides that, they're saying the balance, the initial takeoff, how the wheel, all that stuff, it says it feels really, really good. On par, if not better, than the Sherman S. Now, this part, what I'm about to say, I know I'm going to get probably some hate, but I don't care. I'm just going to state what I think. The S19, right? That wheel, to me, is going to be a commuter city slayer. Why I'm saying that is it's not an open road wheel. You have to know what you're using that wheel for. And it's not going to be a hardcore trail wheel. It might be good for light trail work, but it's not going to be something that Mike Leahy and Seth Johnson are going to be doing mega jumps on. It's not. But if you look, it's 100 volt. If you look at the motor, 3,500 watt hour motor in it, you could destroy a city street with that wheel.
You think this wheel is designed for the city?
Well, the thing is, you're not going to be jumping on it. If you're just riding street and the only thing you're really doing is maybe jump a pothole or coming off a curb, and all you need the suspension for is to knock the edge off the terrain, I don't see why this wheel wouldn't be a good commuter / city wheel. Again, I wouldn't do trails on it, but you're not looking to ride 50, 60 miles on a wheel. You're looking to get from point A to point B, knock off some of the knock the edge off the bumps. Something that's light. I think it's 70 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's like 70 pounds.
I think I'm going to push back on what you just said.
Oh, go ahead.
So I'm going to push back because you're right. It has a 3,500 watt motor, right? With a 6,500 peak watt. But here's the thing, right? Look at the suspension.
Mhm.
It's 130 millimeter travel. That's huge compared to like what we got right now. Like, because Kingsong has pretty much dominated where suspension is concerned. So in terms of like travel. And if you look at the S18, this is a step up from the S18, and people use it for off-roading.
It sits up above the S18, but it's in the middle, and it sits just below the S22. Now, as far as speed wise, you're only going to top out at 37, but in a city, that's more than enough. Like I said, riding 37 miles an hour in New York City, you better be on top of your game. You've rode in New York City, so it's no joke. And if you're not like Tarzan or Jansen, Ronin, and somebody in Vibes, you're not going to be clocking over 40 miles an hour riding in New York City. 37 miles an hour, you're going to be passing up most cars.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I see it. Honestly, I agree with you somewhat, but I would use the word like commuter. So I would use that word like very strictly, because like if you have a new rider who really doesn't want to deal with bumps, then yeah, you could definitely suggest that for them, because then they won't be speeding either, because they're brand new and they're trying to get to work. They're not trying to speed to work. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
How fast is the V11? The V11
is like 35 miles an hour.
So there you go. So it's in the same range in terms of speed as the V11, but it has a better suspension than the V11. So
yeah, and it's again 84 volt, 100 volt. I'm not going to sit there and make a big comparison, but
right.
I think this one's 100. This is 100 volt. V11 is 84, and I think the S18 was 84 volt too, I believe, right? Yeah, it wasn't 100 volt.
Yeah, the S18. But I look at this as a step up from the S18. So whatever people were using the S18 for, I think this is going to give them a little bit more headroom, because remember, one of the major issues with the S18 was how it was easy to cut it out, right?
Oh yeah, I think top speed on thing was 30, and that's depending on your weight. You know what I mean? I've heard some riders say if you were a heavier rider, you might not want to take this thing over 25. Talking about the S18. I'm just looking at now. The thing what's going to hurt this, I think, is the price. Would I pay $2,800 for it? No, I wouldn't pay $2,800 for it.
I didn't even see that $2,800.
Yeah,
because here's the thing, that's wacky. Actually,
that's what I'm saying, dude.
Because if you think about it, go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. This is the biggest factor with this wheel. Again, it's 100 volt. Whether or not I still think 100, there's still a lot of room for 100 volt wheels. A lot of people are going to disagree with me. Again, it's what you put down and how you ride. It's not top speed so much. It's your average speed and your consistent speed are what you're putting down. But that'll be a subject for another time. But yeah, $2,800, almost $2,900 for this. You might as well just get yourself an S22.
You might as well, yeah. Because here's the thing, though. Because if you look at the specs on this, like the specs that matter, look at the battery. If I just look at it, just whatever.
Yeah.
If I compare it to older wheels that mattered where off-roading is concerned, the MSP was number one. Okay, people loved the MSP for off-roading, especially the torque MSP. So let's compare it to the torque MSP. Battery is pretty much the same. The MSP was 1,800 watt hours. It wasn't even a true 1,800 watt hours anyway. So look, this is an MSP, watt hour range right here. You have 37 miles an hour. MSP was pretty much 37 safely. You know what I mean? So, so the only difference is the MSP had no suspension. You know what I mean? So I don't see how this, and the MSP was what, $2,500 or something like that.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. If they would.
Maybe the price isn't that bad, actually, because it does come with suspension.
Well, think of this, though. Now, if you put this in a category with the, look at the Mini Pro. Look at the price on the Mini Pro.
Okay.
What is that? It's about the
Mini Pro?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yep.
Okay. So this one price is $27.99.
Now look, dude. Now, you look at the Mini Pro, you have suspension, you have a bigger battery. already. Top speed is over 45 miles an hour, about 45, 46 miles an hour. So you see what I'm saying?
What's the tire size on this one though?
It's about the same. They keep saying 16-inch, but some are saying it's a little bit bigger. Some are saying it's like a 17.
And look at the travel for this one. It's way less, 80 millimeters.
Yeah.
If off-roading is like your main thing,
right?
80 millimeters is pretty low, isn't it? You're not going to be able to do crazy jumps as you would with the S19.
Right. But again, people are praising the Master Pro suspension, and supposedly the same suspension they used on, not the Master Pro, I'm sorry, the Commander Pro. Mm-hmm. They're using the same style suspension on here. So that oil field type, like Sherman S style suspension.
Right, and the travel here is only 90 millimeters. I'm just comparing it to the Kingston. Kingston has one thing going for it, and that's the suspension.
mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, everyone says that Kingston dominates when it comes to that.
Clearly.
But if you're looking for more performance, slightly bigger battery, I'm saying, why is anyone going to pay that much for an S19 when I can get the Mini Pro? Or, you might be able to get a deal on Extreme. So I think that's the biggest factor with the S19 right now. It is definitely priced too high. And I think that's one of the main factors that are going to mess this wheel up. And
so the Mini Pro is $27.99, and the S19 is, and you're getting a lot more battery too.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's not that much different. It's pretty much the same, but
and more ruggedness out of the Mini Pro too.
I think a perfect price for this thing would be like $2,500. That's just my guess, but I think that's what they're going for is just suspension.
You want to hear my perfect price for it? And you probably laugh at me.
2,000.
Dude, I would price it whatever the T4 is.
The T4. Oh, wait, isn't the T? Wait, let's see what the T4 is right now. I haven't even paid attention.
I mean, you're getting some RGB lights and speakers, but I would say.
Oh, I see.
That, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've seen the T4 as low as $2,200. I think that was on Alien Rides, but it's like, what are you getting more? Okay, you might get some RGB.
Wait. No. The battery on the T4 is way less though.
It's $1,800.
It's $1,800. Well,
yeah,
which one
it depends on where you get it from. I think Alien. Okay. I think. They use their special packs.
You're right.
But you're getting some Bluetooth speakers and you're getting some RGB lighting.
Mm-hmm. And you're getting that Gotway performance.
Right. So you have you figure, is that really worth an additional like $500?
Mm-hmm.
When I can throw my own Bluetooth, I'm just being honest, throw my own Bluetooth speaker on. I really don't care about the lights.
Yeah. Interesting.
Some people do, but.
So have you heard anything about the Extreme? I really haven't been paying attention.
Nah, not just from what's ever on the paper. And then I think the rider Chance single track, he helps them, I guess, put the specs in to help them design it, I guess.
Right.
But
late summer. Okay, so it's not even ready yet.
And that one's what, $3,500?
That's like a different like category completely.
That's a completely different category. Yeah.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying, man. And let's talk about the patent. A lot of people are loving the patent.
A lot of people love the patent, dude.
That's interesting. Oh, well.
A lot of people. I've heard people say they like it better than the Sherman S. If you can, they said the main gripe that I heard between the patent and the Sherman S is that if you could take and you're not going to get the same mileage. That's the only thing. You're going to get less mileage. But everything else, if you can deal with that, the patent is just as good.
Right.
In some cases, it might be better because you're lugging less weight. Not less weight, but you have the smaller tire, and you're able to throw that wheel around a lot better. It handles really well.
Have you gotten a chance to ride the patent at all?
No, man, I want to though.
Okay. Has anyone in the chat gotten a chance to ride the patent? Anyone in the chat? If you got a chance to ride the patent in the chat, type a 1. Type a 1 in the chat if you got a chance to ride the patent. The patent or patent? Patent.
Peyton Manning, baby.
Hey, is that where it's named after? That'd be funny.
Oh, man.
Look at this. This guy says, he says, Electric Unicycle says the T4 range sucks. Only thing I don't like about mine is the range.
Yeah,
But that's the thing about the T4 though. When they made it, I feel like they made it specifically for off-roading. Like
that's
nothing
what I
else.
was thinking too. It's definitely not a range wheel. It'd have been cool if they could have made the battery a little bit bigger on that thing though. It would have been cool. At least the same as what these are now, like a 22 to 24. But I don't know.
Let me see some of the comments because I haven't been paying attention.
Yeah,
Let's see. Let's look at
not-
Stan for a second.
Okay.
He says, Stan, in regards to the manufacturers, it seems Bigot delivers best balancing range and performance. That is 100% true. Why are other manufacturers having difficulty? For example, Kingsong S22 has great motor. I personally think it's just firmware. I don't know, man. Every time I get on a Bigot, it's just not the same as other wheels.
Not the same.
The only wheel that came close to a Bigot was the 16X. That's the only wheel.
Dude,
that's the only wheel.
Why? That's what I was trying to tell people. I don't understand. When you tell people about the 16X, it's like, you rode one? You know, now, because think about it. A couple years ago, the older we know about the 16X. A lot of the newer riders, it's like Bigfoot. You seen one? 16X is legendary, man.
The 16X is legendary. Like, that's the only wheel.
I don't understand how they could go down and not build
what
up
happened. I don't know. Like, dude, when I first got on that, before I got on it, I was kind of skeptical. But then when I got on it, I was asking the guy, because it was a Boston group ride, I was asking, how does this feel like a Bigot? This feels just like my MSP, like my 84 volt that I had at the time. I was like, the pickup was amazing, the braking was amazing, turning. Because when I rode the Kingsong S18, not S18, the XL, the 18XL or 18L, it always had this feature where it tried to keep you up. So no matter how you tried to carve it, it always tried to keep you up. Maybe there was a feature that I could have turned off, but it just felt like it was helping me too much. But when I got on that 16X, dude, I was like, holy, and the acceleration wasn't there either. It wasn't like, an immediate thing. It wasn't a 1-to-1, you push, you go. It was like you push, you wait, you go. You know what I'm saying? This thing was like instantaneous. And then the best test of the 16S was taking it off-roading, because I took my MSP off-roading. It was just beautiful. I never had to worry about power delivery. But with the 16X, it was the same thing. And I'm like, what the freak? And then we drove the S22 and the S18. And I'm like, okay, backwards. What happened?
What happened? That's why I don't understand why they never capitalized on a 16X. Forget that anniversary edition. I'm sorry, man. Come out. What was great about the 16X, take all that stuff, the minor things, and I'm saying very minor things. I think the biggest gripe with the 16X, what people were talking about, they wish it could have had a little more speed. That was one of the main things. If the top end was a little bit higher, that wheel probably have been perfection at that time. How come they didn't capitalize on that? I don't know.
Right.
I don't get it.
Stan is going in with his questions. He said, this is why, this was referring to what we were talking about earlier, EUC Blitz, and the guy at M. Graham's is saying, this is why we need to have open qualifying tours for mass participation. I believe only the known riders are getting the best opportunities. That is true.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of great riders out there, man.
I can't wait to meet them, man. If we can hype up EUC Blitz enough, we can get them to come out. Get them to come out, because I have a feeling there's a lot of that's what I was saying. There's a lot of good riders out there, and Electric Psycho is saying he can't wait to see EUC Blitz. But there's a lot of good riders out there, but without the right, I don't know, motivation or right push, you're never gonna see them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what we're gonna push for. That's what we're pushing for. And it's going to lead up to something epic.
That's the point.
Yeah.
That's the point. Yes. So we're trying to do is
what are we going to do, Pinky? We're going to take over the world.
Take over the EUC world. The EUC world. Right. Take over the EUC world. But yeah, we have something planned for. So the point is we have several EUC Blitz and we got a plan for that. But we got to get the first EUC Blitz going. I'm going to try sending. So to answer you guys' question, the goal now is to give EUC Vibes the V13, let him get used to the V13, and then we'll set up a blitz race where we can compete with each other. I would actually like to do not just a quarter mile with him, but I would like to do a track too. But we'll see. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, it's gonna pull together. We just ask that you guys throw in all the support you can.
Yeah.
And we'll give you everything we can on the back end to come up with something really good. Yeah.
This one says, Liak Point says, why not just one race of either of the three? I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Oh, that's what I understand what it means. Yeah, it's not going to be all three races. It's just like the race. What do you guys want to do? You can choose A, B, or C, whether it's,
right.
And you pick one race and you go at it.
That's right. Exactly. So actually that answers your question right there, Liak. We're not doing three races. It's one race. Okay. That the riders choose. So for example, when you go to the website, it doesn't even have to be like, you don't have to sign up on the website. You could literally sign up in the comments.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we'll reach out to you or find the best way to reach out to you. And we set it up. You come into our live. Okay. It won't be this channel because we have another channel for EUC Blitz. But we can cross whatever. It doesn't matter.
Right,
The point is we're going to have the guys come. They're going to discuss with each other how you're going to pretty much set yourself up against each other. What's your pedal setup? Like, how long have you been racing? Are you new to racing? How many wheels have you ridden? Just to give people an idea of, because we want to make it exciting. Mm-hmm. And then going into the race, put your wheel where your mouth is. You just said, this and this and that. Prove it. Go ahead. Prove it. And then when you prove it, wow, more points to you. Just like they do in UFC, just like they do on these other awesome things that we like to see on TV. You get a certain rating. You know what I mean? You'll get a certain rating. This is the type of Blitz rider. This Blitz rider is scored number 8, number whatever. But the point is, there's a lot. What I've noticed is there's just a lot of people talking, dude, in the comments. But I don't see these people get the opportunity to put their, because like I said, man, I think I'm gonna use Mario as an example of hidden riders that just come out and don't talk, they just do. He was in third. I think he started in third or fourth place, and then he just ended up in first. But
dude, and there's more. There's more out there. Like, I'm not.
Of course.
My biggest thing is, I've never claimed to be the best rider. I'm not, but I love the whole culture of the community. The racing, the setup, making the videos. I go to the events, even if I'm not going to. I'm going to participate in the ones that I can, and just have a blast doing it. But I know there's a lot of hidden talent out there.
Right.
Somebody right now, as we're doing this live, is out there slipping and dipping on some road right now. You know what I mean? Getting their skills
slipping
up.
And dipping.
Yeah, man.
Slipping and dipping. Electric Unite Psycho says S19 looks dope. If you're not a crazy rider, it'll be a great choice. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And I was just giving it a fair shake because I was listening to some people. Oh, it's only 100 volts. I'm like, man, I know people that can ride an 84 volt better than some people can ride 134 volt wheel.
Dude, it's all a matter of what you're comfortable with. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And
Liak Dupont is asking you, who is buying S19 at that price, Sensei?
I don't know. Well, that's the price that they have marked. I wouldn't buy it at that price. Me personally, right. I just don't think. Not in the $2,800. Like I said, you might as well just buy the S22, or buy you a Mini Pro. I wouldn't pay that much for it.
Yo, I hope this one's not directed at you. He says some people, Electric Unicycle says some people don't want to like it regardless, just because it's a King song. Let them miss out. LOL.
No. Like I said, me personally, I like the S19. Some people say, oh, it's ugly. I was like, all unicycles have their own unique look. Let's just put it that way.
Right.
But as far as what the wheel is for, and I tell people, riders, know what you're buying your wheel for. You're not going to buy this wheel.
Hey, whoa, that's a very good point. That's actually a good video. Know what you're buying your wheel for, because there was a guy who bought the V13 because he loved it because of all the specs, all the hype. Kuji Rolls, whoever, like Chooch, they're pumped. But when he got it, it didn't take him long to sell it because he's just like, it doesn't fit my lifestyle. It doesn't fit. I can't store it anywhere. I have to carry it all the time. I have to force it in my car. It's taking up too much space. It's heavier than I thought. It's taller than I thought. Like a lot of negatives, even though he likes the wheel, he absolutely loves the wheel, but at the end of the day, did he sit there and do a SWOT analysis? Like, is this really for me? And does this really fit my lifestyle? So that's a very, very good point.
Know what you're getting for. It'd be like me. People say, well, how can you justify getting a S19? And they're asking me. One, I would say, if the price was lower, I can understand me getting one. I rock a Tesla a lot.
Right.
So to me, that wheel's better than a Tesla. I rock a Tesla V2.
Mm-hmm.
And I ripped through that thing in New York City. But what I'm saying is, it's like I know that the S19 is a step up, a couple steps up above the Tesla V2. The suspension, the top speed, the battery.
The battery. Yeah.
So you understand. So I'm looking at, if I can ride a Tesla in New York City, I know I could definitely.
Oh, I see what you're. So now I see where you're coming from.
See, I could definitely rock an S19.
Because you're always trying to get your wheel on a bus. I'm like, why is this guy always trying to get his wheel on a bus? But then your Tesla, even though as great as it is, no suspension, and you would love that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know I could fit it into my stable. Mm-hmm. It would fit my riding style. Now, like I said, it's not an open road wheel. You're not going to go get on a road that has a speed limit of 40 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour on a wheel. No, you're going to be riding.
Right.
You're going to cut the wheel out. I mean, that's just
and that's the benefit of having multiple wheels. Okay, so if you ever want to justify why you need multiple wheels, here's one. Because not everybody goes speeding like crazy, dude. Some people literally just, go from point A to point B, and that's it. Mm-hmm. Some days they might want to speed, but some days they might not want to use that speed wheel for work if that's what they're doing, traveling. I saw a guy the other day with his suit. He literally had his helmet. I saw no gloves. I saw no knee pads, but he had black pants, white shirt, and he had a helmet. At least he had a helmet on a V11.
Yeah.
And he was riding in the bike lane, nice and slow. So that's his purpose for that wheel. Now, does he have another wheel for a different purpose? Maybe, but he has his purpose. But Hunter at heart says S19 is going to be great. When you crashed, it's going to be shrapnel.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not a wheel. It's plastic. Well, again,
basically, let me finish what he says. He says left in my ass, and then he goes, if you are getting KS wheels, you better get two. It's true, because if you look at the S18, right, the original S18 and this S19, they're pretty much similar in the sense of how they're built. Mm-hmm. There's no body. I mean, there seems to be a body, but if you crash it, there's really nothing there.
Dude, I went to I don't even know if it was, I can't even remember if it was the S20. I think it was the S20 demo. And I looked at the wheel, rider got on, it was perfectly fine. Rider comes back. I look at it, I'm like, what happened? Front piece is broken off, and they're switching it out. Yeah, I get it. They're not made to take a crash. They're really not. They're not.
Yeah.
So,
but hey, back to your point, know why you're getting a wheel, right? Mm-hmm. Electric Unicycle says KS have always been more durable than Bigode. Well,
it depends.
It depends, because before the S18, yes, you're absolutely right. Before the S18, before the S22, before the S19, these wheels right now, starting from the S18 to the S19 to not, I think that's all they got. S20, S22. Before those wheels, you had the 18XL, the 18L, the 16X. These were durable wheels.
Yeah, they were.
Insanely durable. So you're right up to a point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unless there's something else you're talking about that I don't know anything about.
I mean, still, one of the most durable wheels even to today is a Bigode wheel. That's the Nikola.
That's right.
The Nick is still one of the top.
There you go.
Top durable wheels out there. Yeah, and you can ride that thing. It's like the Postman. It delivers in any weather, rain, sleet, snow, shine. Dude, the Nikola, dude, you can ride that thing.
Don't forget dog.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man.
So Hunter Hart says KS 130 millimeter suspension travel is about to meet their match going forward with Bigode, starting with Extreme. So you're telling me the Extreme has a higher suspension travel? Let me see.
That's going to be a gap jumper, man.
Let me see this. Wow, he's right. 130 millimeter of travel. Holy smokes! And it's air coil adjustable.
Yeah, that's gonna be a jumper,
yeah. That's a good point. Wow. No wonder it's called the Extreme. Yeah. Nocturnal says S19 should be $2,600.
Yeah, that's tops too. That's pushing it. They should give you some free stuff with it. Yeah, man. Nah, seriously, dude. I mean, you have to look. It just the battery alone there's no way that wheel should come in at that price.
Right.
You know, there's no way.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's just too much. Let me see. Stan says, I heard the Sherman S suspension has leaking problems. Interesting. Are the Commander Pros having the same problem? If not, what did they do to prevent it? I haven't heard anything. Go ahead.
I saw one video that had the Commander Pro, but that was like the first batch. I think the oil was leaking out and they end up fixing it, but I haven't heard anything else. Any other problems?
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. I haven't heard anything. All I know is that Zen Lee loves the Commander Pro.
He loves that freaking wheel, man.
And I love it. I love it based on a lot of the reviews I've seen. So I can't really speak much on that wheel. There, we saw that already.
I guess he's talking about Chance right there with his input on the extreme.
Okay. Let's see. Nocturnal says these suspension wheels are not nimble, very comfortable, but boring and crowd. Really?
He's not the first person I heard say that. He's not the first person I heard say that, though.
Didn't your boy say that the other day? What's his name? The guy who does the DJ and
Flip.
Yeah,
Flip?
I saw a video of him saying it's boring. But here's the thing. Before you go, I thought he was trolling because I don't know what he's talking about. I tested the V13, tested the Master Pro, tested the T4 a little bit, rode the KS20, loved it. I just didn't like the acceleration, didn't like the braking. They could have fixed that. They could have fixed the torque. But in terms of the ride, it was beautiful. Love that wheel.
Wow.
Now I tried the EX30 and I absolutely love suspension. So I don't know what he means when he says it's boring.
I wish one of these companies, honestly, I wish they would send me a wheel so I can just ride suspension just to give, because I've just sampled it. You know what I mean? I've never really had the chance to ride it for like a month, 2 months, or anything like that, and then do a really good comparison after like 1 month and say, okay, this is what I think about suspension and non-suspension. You know what I mean? That's what I would love to do.
Well, I'll tell you what. One area I see people adjusting or even completely getting rid of suspension is during races. You know, and I could kind of understand why people do that, because you want the maximum amount of power delivered to your wheel without any interference. And I could see how suspension could do that. At the same time, I see many people, if you look at older races, crash because of bumps, because of while they're turning, the wheel starts to bounce and bounce. They might hit a little pothole, a little dip or whatever, and people still crash. So I don't know. I think it's a matter of tuning. It's getting to a point where you need to tune your wheel in order to get the
100%.
best out of it.
And I think another big issue with suspension wheels in racing is some of the suspension wheels sit up so darn high. And because your center of gravity is up so high, you're prone to wobble more. And I think some riders might not feel comfortable. That's what's good about the EX30, because it sits lower.
It sits low, yes.
Yeah,
man, I can't wait to fix that tire so I could start ripping it. But very good point. Very good point. So yeah, he said it's boring, and I don't know. I haven't experienced that at all. I haven't experienced any boringness with the suspension wheels. All right.
I hit a bump today, dude. I wasn't even going fast. It was like one of those invisible, like double camel humps. It's like, man, I look like EUC girl coming out the other side of that jump, man. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, man, I'm not a jumper, man.
Electric Unicycle says, I went from 16X with 1554 watt hours. The 16X is amazing. That did 60 miles to 14 with 1800. That only gets about 40 miles. Yeah, dude. 16X is amazing, dude.
That's what I was saying, man. People were doing like 60 miles on that wheel with a 1500 watt hour battery.
Yeah. Dude, I feel like they took up a goad, copied it exactly, and put it in a different shell. That's how I felt when I rode the 16X.
You're not the only person that said that. That wheel was, like I said, a unicorn, man. That wheel was like a unicorn. Yeah.
Wow, look at this guy. He's Electric Unicycle says I put 25,000 kilometers. What is that in miles on my 16X 25?
Wow, that has to be what? 15?
Probably half that, right?
Yeah, about half of
25,000 kilometers
40,000, 50,000.
miles. That's 15. Yeah, 15,000.
Jeez,
It's
that's a lot of miles.
15,534 miles.
That's
That
a
is
lot
a lot
of
of miles. I don't think I have any. I probably do. I don't know. I haven't checked. I went back to 16X 4 times. Now I have Sturdy Bull 16X.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
man.
16X. When I crashed my Tesla really bad, I actually thought about getting a 16X to replace it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, this guy says, Austin Rose says, one wheelers have so many races. Great idea to get the ball rolling. Yeah, dude, it's a great idea. We just need your support, guys. We just need your
that's
support.
all we need.
And support means, here's what support means. Support means when you see us do an EUC Blitz video, share it, try to participate if you can. Because if you're on the West Coast, maybe we can get a representative, but right now we can't do that. But we're gonna try shooting it off from the East Coast. We're going to Chicago. Well, let's see how that goes. We plan on going to the Chicago.
As of right now, we plan.
We plan
on going.
plan on going to Chicago. So hopefully we can set up some blitz races there. But yeah, it's literally getting into the rider's face and getting them to do it.
Yeah.
because again, it's gonna take time to smooth things out. So guys, what should I mention the wireless cam, or because maybe I can guess?
I would hold off on that.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
can't give them the whole cake.
All right.
We got to save some cake for tomorrow.
All right, cool. I need someone to hold me back. All right, so let's see what Stan says here. He says, if you give an EUC participant a stamp of approval, will they get a shot at a renowned circuit race to get? Oh yeah. So
dude, that's
the sky's the limit, man.
Yeah.
Limit.
What we're setting up for after that. Yeah, dude, this is heck yeah, man.
Yeah, man. It's listen, every rider is going to get a stamp of some approval.
Right.
Okay. It's gonna be like, I don't even know. We haven't even come up with the tiers yet, but we got to come up with a system to
we'll
rate them,
definitely we'll have a system and everything planned out. But I mean, if you're coming in as a blitzer, and then the other stuff that we're going to do, you're definitely in 100%.
Yeah. But once they race and they win, like for example, if someone wins, just like in UFC, like you have the featherweight, then you have the is it middleweight, and then heavyweight,
flyweight, featherweight. I can't remember.
Flyweight, featherweight, exactly. Something like there you go. So you know all of it. So the point is, like, we need something like that for these riders, because if you do a quarter mile, what does that put you, what categories that put you in, and what level does that put you in? If they win at a circuit and they win in, so it's like doing a quarter mile and then winning in a circuit means you jumped a level. Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Or jumped into a different class versus off-roading. So we got to figure all this stuff out. See, guys, we're just starting this, so all your ideas are welcome. But we're just keeping things as simple as it is right now. We just want the races going, and then we'll go from there. But again, this is all stemming from people commenting on the first race I did with Easy Vibes. I want to see these people who talk put their freaking wheels where their mouth is.
Right.
Yeah. Because some of you are good. We just never seen you. We just never heard of you.
A lot of, and like I said, I give credit to anyone that jumps on these things, because I said there's people out there right now honing their skills that we have no idea who they are, and they're going to come out and surprise a lot of people. People.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Terrence Clark says EUC Adventures had a problem with his patent. Oil leaking from suspension. I think was from wheel bottoming out, and that's the problem. That's the problem with EUCs with very short travel. You know what I mean? Don't you think so?
A lot of pressure coming down on that thing.
Yeah.
When you hit, pow. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which goes back to your point. Know what you're getting your wheel for. And if you're getting your wheel for a particular thing, is that wheel's going to support that? So.
Right. See, most of my stuff is street, very light trail work. So I know that I'm not going to be putting a wheel like what Seth, he's a great jumper. So I know that I'm not going to put the wheel through the same pace as he's going to put it through because I'm mostly street. You know what I mean? So if you're jumping, you need something. Well, put it this way. If you're jumping on an EUC or you're doing really hard off-road, the single track stuff, guaranteed your wheel's going to break. Suspension is going to bang up eventually. It's going to break. That's just how it is.
Oh my gosh. So by the way, EUC5 just said, yo, my bad, running late, pulling up to my office now. Well, EUC5, I sent you the link in Instagram and text. So whenever you get it, pop on. We're not going to stay too much longer, but pop up when you can. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
That's the thing about having suspension in general. Over time, you're gonna have to do maintenance on these things, especially if you're going off-roading and doing those jumps all the time.
Yeah, you have to look at it, man. And it's not even just the suspension; it's the components of the suspension. Like a lot of these things are using rollers now. So think if you're a 220-pound person and you're constantly just bang, bang,
constantly. Meanwhile, you use that same wheel for city riding. You'll probably extend the life.
You're going to extend the life of it, aren't you?
Much longer, because how often are you going to hit potholes with it? And even if you do, it's not going to be like going past like a certain millimeter. So, let's see. Oh, this guy is saying about Mario. He says, "Can you interview Mario? It would be neat to listen. I know it would be neat to listen to his skill preferences. Absolutely, and that is the point. That is the point." Very important part you just mentioned there when you said skill preferences, because when you see someone win a race, it's like a lot of people give credit to the wheel and the rider, but mostly the wheel. They're like, oh, he had a great wheel. But sometimes it's the setup. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes it's how they tune their wheel. Yeah. What kind of tire did he have? What kind of street tire did he have? Because if you looked at Mario, the way he was bending like crazy, it's like the guy had crazy grip in those tires, in that tire, not tires, in that tire. And it seemed like he had his pedal. Because when I first went, when I went to race with Zen Lee, the first thing he told me was, you got to bring up your pedals a little bit higher than that. And he ended up giving me pedals. And he's right. My time, the only thing I have to show for my Apple Valley Speedway race is the time that I did. Because my time came out in the same time as Show, and Roger. That's why I was able to race with them. Nothing else I did after that mattered. But the time trial demonstrated that something was good with that wheel. You see what I'm saying? And the rider, obviously, but it had a lot to do with tuning. Yeah. So it'd be very interesting to know what he did.
Even like I said today, I don't know. I mentioned that. I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream. I made minor adjustments to the dihedral on my Sherman today because it was weird. My feet were getting a little tired, but I know when I would take turns, it was like I was having to put too much effort into turning. And I know I rode my buddy Sherman, and I was like, wait, his didn't feel like that. His felt better than mine. I said, dude, what did you do? He's like, man, I put the dihedral up. We pulled over today, pulled out the screwdriver, bam, 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 twisted up, put the dihedral up. Like a new unicycle,
dude. That's what I'm saying. You could have two of the same exact wheels and have two and both great riders. But if you don't set the wheel per the rider, you're gonna have two completely different outcomes.
Yeah, one will run really good, the other one runs like trash. It's like NASCAR. Think about it.
Yeah,
they go in, they calculate everything. Motors have to match. This has to match. It's all about the setup. Tire pressure, air pressure, tire pressure, air pressure. Is it loose? Is it tight? All those different things. And a car will run faster if you have a good setup. If you don't.
Which is why you need time to ride a wheel before jumping on it and racing. Which is why I was telling these guys, I couldn't have just switched over to the Master Pro and started riding it. Look, when I rode the Master Pro recently, well, on all my reviews, you saw that the wind was a problem. And it's not even that it was windy out. It's just the amount of wind that I'm generating while riding this thing. And it's horrible aerodynamics. That thing has no aerodynamics whatsoever.
when you were talking, I'm like, dude, the wind is whistling through that thing like a roller coaster. You know, a roller coaster goes all like this. That's how the wind is zinging through that wheel because it's just too many openings, man. The wind is having a fight with that wheel, dude. They need to make it more aerodynamic.
Here's a good question from Stan. Which is the best suspension solution, oil-filled, air, or coiled? I honestly don't know.
I don't even know. What are you using it for?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, again, what are you going to be using
well,
it for?
in terms of durability, which one you think? I think it would have to be the
coil.
I don't know. Yeah, probably because the oil doesn't. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, again,
no leaking.
No leaking. Yes, less parts you have, less stuff you have to deal with, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make my wheel. I'm gonna put suspension on my Tesla, make it out of bed springs.
I think Stan.
Soda, baby.
Now you find a new purpose. You find a new purpose for your bed.
Yeah, man.
Hunter Hart. He responded to Stan. He said, "Mostly oil-filled and coil." Makes sense.
Okay.
He said, though Fox pulled it off with their oil-filled without coil, but that's just them alone and very expensive. It makes sense that the coil would be better.
Mm-hmm. And another tip too, and I think I spoke with you on this as far as setting up Stride. One thing I learned, you'll see a lot of riders, first thing they do, they want to get a wheel, jump on it, and they just want to start speeding around, right?
Yeah.
And I see a lot of videos, and I'm like, "Ooh, you're not ready. Just take your time, enjoy the process, learn your wheel, know what it can do." And I see a lot of riders and their pedals. I'm gonna try to go this way, or like this. I mean, they're dipped down a lot.
Right.
And one thing that I noticed is when your pedals are dipped down that far, your pedals are going to dip down even more.
Right.
And when you start speeding up, it's almost like your body is sitting too far over the wheel. And it starts, you get a lot of wobbles like that, man. A lot of wobbles.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, man. I always tell people, take your time, make your adjustments before you want to start this going full send. Make sure your unicycle is set up properly, man. Makes a heck of a difference.
100%. Well, I'm gonna start closing it down. Do you have anything else to say, Sensei?
I want to thank everyone for coming out. I really do. You guys, this means the world to us. It really does, man. For me, anyway. I love the whole.
Likewise.
Yeah, man. I love the culture, and hopefully, Stride and I teaming up with Vibes, we can bring you guys something epic. Seriously, epic. And
because here's the thing, right? While the other races are amazing and I love them, dude, I just watched the Amped Electric Games. That was crazy how they set it up, and in post it always looks great. Even they had another one with the drones, and that still looked great at the Oak Fest. But what I want to do, or what we are trying to do, is just because there's just so many great riders out there. How do we get them out? And what I wanted to say is, like, when you race with like a crowd, right? So when you race with a lot of people, it kind of takes, believe it or not, it takes away from your ability to race. So for example, Mario won, right? But who's to say that the guy in 7th place wasn't a great rider either? He just got discouraged because there were so many people.
Right.
So one-on-one is like, you don't have UFC fighters fighting all 4 at a time.
Right.
You know what I mean? They put the best, they put these guys next to each other, they call each other out, and then you really have a shot. Because who knows? Maybe there's someone just as good as Mario. He probably just got discouraged. He's just like, hey, damn, like, I can't even get around this guy. This guy's like, right, oh man. You know what I'm saying? But imagine having the chance to give his reasons as to why he think he could beat Mario. Let's put it up together. Can you can beat Mario? Right. Show me how you can beat Mario. What's your setup? How long you been riding? You know, what makes you feel you have what it takes to go up against Mario? Why should Mario give you the time of day? Because Mario just beat like freaking all these people. Why should he give you
a laundry list of great riders?
Exactly. So that's how we want to set it up. So I just really want to thank you guys for even coming on the live tonight. We were gonna set it up yesterday. Stuff happened, but it's here today. we'll try to set it up again, and hopefully by that time we'll have people, riders, talking to each other and probably setting up a blitz. But we'll see. No details right now.
That's it, man. Each day will bring something new, and then
Right.
For right now, hopefully at least once a week we can come on to a live and include you guys in. Who knows?
Right.
Within the next, we might have a race set up very shortly.
Right.
Too,
Hopefully, yeah. And by the way, guys, if you're in the New England area, preferably New York, Rhode Island, New Jersey, Maine, just New England, you know what I mean? And you guys want to blitz, hit us up in the comments. Let us know that you want to race. You know how to contact me. Contact me through Facebook, through Instagram, contact Sensei Vegan. Let us know, hey, I want to race. And we'll see if you guys could. Hey, if you want to race me, because here's the thing. A lot of people say I'm a fast rider. I'm a fast rider by myself. But when you put me up against other people, it's a challenge. You get this butterflies in you because it's not the same. It's not the same when you race with other people. It's just not the same.
It's not.
So.
And that's another thing too, guys. One thing about let's keep it fun.
Keep it fun. Yes,
it's one thing to get in, but just keep it fun. And I see so many riders now. It's like almost taking it too serious, man. Keep the fun. That's the main thing about what we're doing. Keep it fun. I can go in a race and get my butt totally kicked. I'm still having fun. It's good to win. But what I know from the times I got my butt kicked, I learned, okay, I did this wrong. I did that wrong. And it just makes you a better rider. You know what I mean? But yeah, just have fun with it, man. Have fun. Don't lose the fun aspect of it.
That's right. Let me see. Stan asked, who was the best racer you competed against? Okay. You've competed, Sensei, so I'll let you go first.
I would say the best that I've competed against probably was Tarzan. I think New York Tarzan was one of the best. Again, I'm talking about that was trail style. That was at.
But still, it's a race. It's a competition.
Right. That was at Black Cobra, the Wheel Rally.
Yeah,
Tarzan, and then but again, see this is where it gets tricky. It gets tricky because at that same race, Wall Xena was there. You know what I mean? Phenomenal rider. Electrocycle, so there was a ton of, you were there. So again, there's a ton of great riders. But I would say last year, I'll just go to the last year event that I did, and he was ripping it, was New York Tarzan. He was one of the best. But I've ridden against some phenomenal riders. So it's even hard to say.
Right.
Because I'll put it this way. I'll say he was, because the last event I did, he won it. But on any given day, any of those guys could have won.
Right.
All it takes is a minor slip up. Think about it. You slip out, you're done. That's it. So it's like any of those riders have the skill to be up on that podium and be in first place. And there was a laundry list of great riders. Great riders, man.
The best rider I raced against is Show. And man, I dreamt about Show. I was like thinking, I'm serious. Like, dude, when we got to like California, and we stayed in the Airbnb, and Zen Lee was just schooling us on what to expect, how to take the turns, relax, all this good advice, after the physical trials. Like, he was literally teaching us how to make turns and stuff like that. And he mentioned Show, and I was like, oh my gosh, Show is light. He's good. He's fearless. He's ridden many wheels. He represents alien rides. The guy has experience like crazy. And I was just like, man, am I even going to get to ride with Show? And then when the time trials came in and I was put in the same category as him and Roger, now Zen Lee looked at me and said, I still have the videos and I haven't edited them yet. But Zen Lee was like, dude, you have the worst, I forgot what it's called. You have the worst heat ever. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, they put you up against Show and Roger.
Yeah, those are two elite
riders. I'm like, what? Yes. Because the reason I said yes is because it's not like I felt like I had a chance, because I knew how good these guys were.
Right.
It's just that I had an opportunity to at least test myself.
That's the thing. Most people, that's what you want. That's what you want. I have to say something else too. See, man, this is what I'm saying about great riders. Jeremy Valentine. Remember Jeremy?
Yeah.
Jeremy won 2 years in a row at Cobra's Rally. His
Oh, really?
skill was
Wow.
his skill was top notch too. So it's like it's really hard to say as far as competition goes, because I've come across some really good riders. And here's one. I'm going to mention his name. If you know, you know. And if you don't, you're going to know. Reuben White.
I don't know him.
What? Reuben White. Like I said, if anyone, Reuben to me is still like one of those riders. If he
Wait, is it the guy with the Nicola?
He has a Nick now,
Oh.
but he went, the first time I raced him, he was on a monster. I can't remember if it was the V2 or V3. I can't remember. It was a monster. And he came to the indoor rally on that big wheel and was rolling. There was another dude. I can't remember his name. He was on like a 16X. Some dudes was battling back and forth. But Reuben is phenomenal rider, man. Phenomenal. So I'm just saying there's a lot of good talent out there, man. And there's some names that people have just not heard of. But anyone that knows that name, Reuben White, if you know, you know.
Well, there you go. So, but the point is so the way they do it is they do a rolling start, okay, at the Apple Valley. Mm-hmm. So it was Roger behind me. I don't even know why Roger was behind me. No. Wait, Roger was in front of me because I passed Roger. Okay, good. So Roger was in front of me. There was another guy behind me, and then Show was in front of Roger. So I'm like, so then I passed Roger, and then all I could see was Show in front of me. Now, that's what freaking Zen Lee warned me about. He said, if you have any adrenaline in you, calm down.
You gotta calm it down.
Because something's going to go wrong. But then I saw him in front of me, and I saw him going. And I'm not thinking. I have a high-speed MSP. I don't even know much about batteries. And I overpowered that battery. Yeah. Fortunately, I didn't kill the wheel, but I overpowered that battery, and both fuses popped, and Show just kept going. And then Roger ran into me, and his wheel was cut in half.
Integrated. Yeah.
You know, so, but my goal was to return. I have to go back.
You have to go back. You have to go back.
This is crazy, dude.
If I have to donate my wheel.
But dude, I'm telling you, the excitement you get riding with guys you know that are good is like, dude, it's like you don't know what to think. It's when they say go, dude, it feels like nothing you've ever felt before.
Yeah.
You know? So
man. Oh, one more too.
Good.
Another dude, that's what I keep saying, man. And hopefully the couple names that I mentioned, you can go back. I think some of them don't have channels. Some of them had channels and just don't upload to them. This rider, to me, is still one of the best. Jesse Pike. Jesse Pike.
Isn't he the one with the Nicola? With the eyes?
Yeah, the Nicola with the eyeballs on it.
Yeah, that's the one,
yeah. Yeah, man. That dude can do it all. He can do it all. So it's just like, man, there's some fabulous racers.
Some fabulous racers out there, yeah. So Stan says, would Tashawn Foy's style of riding survive today's race? I don't know about racing. I know about riding, but I don't know about race. I had the opportunity to see Tashawn Foy ride and race people too. I'm not sure. I know it's good for riding. I don't know if it's good for racing though.
I've never got to see him ride, in person.
I saw him ride in person, yeah.
From the videos, to me, to this day, Tashawn is still one of the smoothest riders out there. Still to this day, one of the smoothest riders out there.
Yeah. But he was just asking like if that style of riding would be good for racing. I don't know, man. I think racing is all about lines.
It is.
If it's a circuit, it's all about the lines, because at this point it's not really about the speed, because you can beat someone if you have consistent speed and you make good lines. But if you have great speed and you make terrible lines, then you lose a lot of speed. So
I think I shouldn't even get. Well, I mean, if anyone watches racing, I think people would know, but a lot of people don't take this into consideration. When you're in a race, you're not racing the racers. You're racing the track.
You're racing the track, yeah.
You're racing the track, and the biggest problem is people want to race the racers. No, keep your line. take the best line possible. Forget about the racers, man. Because when you try to challenge show, what happened? You pushed your wheel past its limit and went
way past its limit.
But just think if you would have slowed down.
If I just slowed down just a little bit,
just a bit,
because it's 3. I think it was 2 or 3.
Right. So that's the thing. Race the track, don't race the racers, man. That's just the bottom line.
Stan. Okay, this is the last question. We're gonna cut it short. We're gonna go because I have to go to work tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure Sensei has to work as well.
Oh, dude, we're going all night, bro. We're going all night. We're going all night. They got me all hyped up now.
Stan says, "Is Kuji overrated or is he a champion rider?" See, that's the thing. Like, that's what I was trying to tell you guys. Like, riding in a video for a review is very different than racing. So I did many reviews. You guys saw a lot of me of rides, of me doing like really fast rides on the MSP, all that stuff. These are just for videos. So sometimes I have to cut and go back and make that run again because I want the right view. So I might not be riding that fast for like an extended period. It might just be for that turn so I can get the right angle. So I have no way of judging Kuji. I've never seen him race.
Mm-hmm. Right. It would be like
no, we have seen him race. He went to France.
It was France. Race, he did well. Kuji can ride. I mean, he can ride. I've never got to ride him personally. Again, I'm looking at stuff on a video, but I mean, he's legendary in the community. He definitely has some skill. He definitely has skill.
Yeah, he has raced in France, but I don't think he won though.
I can't do that. I remember the video, but I can't remember if he placed or not. I don't know.
Yeah, so there's just a difference. And remember, riders in the West, or when I say West really means Europe, but in New York, in California, in the United States, it's very different than riders in Europe. That's all I got to say.
Yeah,
they're more daring, in my opinion, way more daring. But again, these are just the riders we see on YouTube. What about the ones we don't see? So
the ones we don't see. Now, even with me, if you look at my videos, right? Most people say, okay, I'm a cruise rider. I say it in all my videos. But, I ride on the streets of New York City, and I know some people that are better riders than me, but if they come into New York City, that's going to be a whole different ball game. But I'm used to the traffic. I'm used to the noise. I'm used to getting cut off, all those types of things. So a lot of times what you see on video with me is not the best that I can ride. It's like it goes in different stages.
Right.
All
right. Well, guys, I just want to thank you guys for coming out. I'm not in a place where I can talk as long as I want to. So, Sensei.
But yeah, going back, big respect to Kuji though. I have to say that. Kuji, to me, we wouldn't be where we are today if it wasn't for Kuji. I'm saying that too. He was still a big impact on the community, man. Huge impact. Well,
he's just talking about his racing ability.
Right. Well, I just kind of went off script a bit, but I'm still giving Kuji his props, man. I have to give him his props. Kuji's one bad dude.
Sensei doesn't want to ruffle any feathers.
No. It's not even ruffling any feathers. I've always liked Kuji. I've always loved his content. Right. And his riding and stuff like that. I've always loved that.
The camera is acting up. But yeah, but as far as racing, I don't know if he would. I don't know. I can't really answer that. I've only seen one race, and that doesn't really tell the whole story. So as far as him being overrated, I wouldn't say that either. I don't know. I can't say that. So guys, I want to thank you guys for coming on. Once again, all we can say is support. Of course, Sensei Vegan, support myself. Appreciate and support EUC Vibes, who's not here right now, and also support what we just talked about, EUC Blitz. So we'll try to make it happen. No, we're going to make it happen, we just need your support, guys. Whenever you see it pop off, just share, like, subscribe, and if you are a racer, come out and race.
Even our regular channels and stuff too. Every like, everything, because we're going to be pushing on our other channels too, and just help us jump everything up, through YouTube. So
that's right. So guys, you got anything else to say, Sensei?
No, man. Have a good night. Good work week. Put your miles in.
Put your miles in. I like that.
Put your miles in this week.
Put your miles in.
Yeah, that's all.
All right. All right. Well, we'll chat later, man.
Peace.
Good night, everyone. Good night.
From 76% down to 71%. It wasn't exactly the same because remember, there's a 20% safety margin from 100 to 80%. Wind. Oh, the wind is crazy. I'm leaving. Unfortunate. Let's do some reckless riding, guys. Reckless. I hate blind spots. I can't see in the turn, so I'm not gonna do anything crazy. Reckless. My goodness. So on a long distance trip, right? Which would you prefer? Holy smokes. I would prefer this over the V13 any day. Oh, for a long distance? Absolutely. Not just because of the range. No handle feels funny. The pads are feeling very flimsy, because there's not enough surface area to stick it to. Interesting. Oh dude. Sitting is beautiful, very, very comfortable for sure.